There's something that's happened in our schools over the last 20 years, and it's something I find deeply disturbing. The schools have become quite tyrannical, and they don't really invite or accept any form of questions from parents or adults in the same way as they wouldn't accept questions from the children in their charge. And yet at the same time they invite, quote, what they call debate. It begins with something so trivial it almost beggars belief. A WhatsApp comment about a head teacher recruitment process and one parent calling a senior figure a control freak. Private chatter, the sort of mild, exasperated remark that fills school gate conversations every morning and across the country, and yet this domestic molehill was inflated into a mountain high enough to send 6 police officers, 2 cars and a van thundering down on a family home in Hertfordshire. It's grotesque theatre. A swarm of uniforms at the door, a mother trying to work out if her epileptic daughter has died, a 3-year-old watching her mother being led away, all because a school did not like being criticised and a system could not tell the difference between robust parental advocacy and genuine criminality. The law eventually caught up with the absurdity. The £20,000 payout is not a windfall. It's an admission, however decorously phrased, that the arrest was unlawful, unnecessary, and founded on one of the most remarkable failures of institutional judgment in recent memory. The police didn't meet the basic necessity test under PACE. They didn't have the evidence. They didn't even have a coherent theory of harm. They simply escalated because a public institution was inconvenienced and because criticism, quiet, ordinary criticism, had been baptized as harassment. And that is the real scandal. Nobody should be arrested because a school finds parents irritating. Nobody should spend 11 hours in a cell because administrators confuse wounded pride with criminal wrongdoing. And the police should not be conscripted into the role of defending the tender feelings of organisations that cannot answer reasonable questions about governance, leadership, or the treatment of disabled children. Closing down scrutiny is not safeguarding. It is cowardice dressed as authority. It's tyranny. The wider implications are bleak. A democracy cannot sustain itself if public bodies learn that the police will act as their personal bouncers. Free speech cannot function if WhatsApp becomes a potential crime scene, and parental advocacy cannot survive if ordinary people feel that one message, too many, will trigger a dawn raid. The couple themselves were never abusive, never threatening, never even intemperate in any meaningful sense. Their spiciest comment they could find on rereading the sacred WhatsApp scrolls was the word control freak. You could hear harsher language in a parish council meeting about potholes. Yet 6 officers mobilised, a child was traumatised, a family was humiliated, and all of it ended with the police conceding in polished legal prose, but conceding nonetheless that this should never have happened. Of course it should not. You don't need a degree in criminology to grasp the madness here. When burglary rates soar, while car crime skyrockets, while assaults, thefts, violent incidents and organised criminality spread through towns and cities, while thousands report frauds that never receive a response, in that landscape a WhatsApp remark was treated as the priority. It is an indictment not of a single force, but of a culture that has forgotten what real crime looks like and lost the moral nerve to say no to unreasonable demands from institutions that want to silence dissent instead of engage with it. We need policing that protects people, not reputations. We need officers who understand liberty and law, not ones deployed as human fire blankets for bureaucratic discomfort. We need a system that distinguishes between a safeguarding concern and a criticism of a head teacher, because the inability to draw the line in itself is a danger to public trust. The payout matters, yes, but that's not the victory. The victory is the principle that must follow, that the criminal law is not an emotional support animal for the easily offended, nor a shield for powerful organisations that want to suppress scrutiny. Real crime deserves attention. Real victims deserve protection. Hurt feelings do not. If anything good comes from this fiasco, let it be this: a firmer, clearer, sterner insistence that public institutions answer criticism rather than arrest it, and that the police rediscover their vocation to uphold the law, not to police the mood of WhatsApp.